Welcome to lecture 39, exercise 3. The challenge for this exercise is to create a game similar to Hangman, in which a player guesses letters to try to replicate a hidden word. Store at least 8 words in an array, and randomly select one to be the hidden word. Initially, display the hidden word and using asterisks to represent each letter. Allow the user to guess letters to replace the asterisks in the hidden word until the user completes the entire word. If the user guesses a letter that is not in the hidden word, display an appropriate message. If the user guesses a letter that appears multiple times in the hidden word, make sure that each correct letter is placed. So I went on and added some hints that you actually need if you're going to do it my way, which is a pretty easy way of doing it. I try to find the easiest way to solve this, but there are many ways of doing this. So in the way that I'm going to do it, you need to know a couple of things, which I'll explain. You need to know that strings have an internal array of characters. So a string is basically a lot of characters, right? So how a string works is the internal data structure of it is a character array. So every character inside of a string is placed into this character array. And having that, you have certain things that you can use with that. For example, you can access each element of the string, which returns one character. So for example, if you had string s equals hello, I could say console.writeLine s sub 0, and that will just return the first character, which is an H. If I run that, you can see it prints an H. So a string has an internal structure of a character array that represents all the characters in it. So that's the first thing you need to know. The second thing is that we need to know how the string has a contains method. So for example, if I had string s equals hello, I can say if s contains h. So if I say if s contains a string of an h, then that will be true. So this contains returns if that string contains any certain letters. That will return true or false. String has a remove method that you can remove portions of a string. So for example, I can say s dot remove, and I can remove. So I can say remove index 0 and only remove one character. So this is saying start at index 0, which is the h, and remove one character. So that will remove just the h and it will return LELLO. The thing with s.remove is, though, this returns a string. So in order to update the current string, you have to say s equals s.remove the first character. So this will remove the first character, but then it becomes that rest of the string. So then you have to reassign it to that string to update it so that you see this string will have one less character. And then you need insert, which works the same exact way, except you can insert. I can say s equals s dot insert a character. And I can say insert a character at the first index in h. And I can put that h back in. So I removed it, and then I can put it back in. And then the last thing is that the strings have a length property, which represents how many characters are in it. So if I have console.writeLine s.length, that will say 5 in this case, because there are 5 characters in the word hello. So those are the couple things you need to know in order to really solve this. Length, insert, remove, and understand that a string has an internal character array, and the contains method. Now, even though you know these 5 things that I just told you, it will still be very difficult to complete this challenge on your own. So I would recommend trying to do it on your own. If you get stuck and you're really stuck, you can't get past it, then watch me do it, because it is a pretty long program. I mean, longer than what we've been seeing so far. This is like your first real challenge. That's difficult, very difficult. So if you want to try it on your own, go ahead and start now. If not, I'm going to solve it. Okay, so the first place that I want to start with solving this is that saying that we need to store at least 8 words in an array. So these basically will have an array of 8 words, and every time the program starts, it will randomly pick one of those, and that will be the word that you need to try to guess. So it's like a little database of words that the game can pick from, basically. So let's start off by handling the random stuff. So I'm going to say get random word stuff. So this will be the random word stuff happening right under here. So the first thing we need to do, like I said, is create this string array called words, and I'll put some random words in it. Jump, programming, sky, pictures, river, start, grass, Google. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 random words that I just randomly thought of. So we have these 8 random words. These are the words that the game will use that will randomly pick from. So now, how do we randomly pick from this? So, well, we need that random generator that we used in the other examples. And I told you when you use that, just copy it. So it's random equals new random. And then now I can actually get the random index. So I'll say int random index equals r.next. Now remember, this range is the range of the numbers you'll get is 0 to then whatever you want plus minus 1. So if I want 0 to 7, it's 0 to 8. So if I do 0 to 8, that will return numbers from 0 to 7 because I need numbers that will pick a random word basically. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this will return the number 0 to 7 that we can use. Once I have the random index, now I need to actually get that selected word that was from there. So I'm going to say string selected word is equal to word sub random index. So whatever the random index was, I plugged that into the words array, and I put this into this new variable called the selected word. So this is the word that we're playing with. It selected one while the program is starting. It selected one, and now we're ready to start using it. However, when we display the word to the user, it has to be blurred out with asterisks. So until you guess the letter, it's going to be stars everywhere. So we're not going to show them the actual selected word. So I'm going to create another variable called the hidden word. And this is what the user will actually see. Right now, it's not equal to anything because we need to put asterisks in it. But that's what the user is going to see, just this blank, this hidden word. Now, where we need to figure out how many characters the selected word is. And then based off of how many characters there are, this hidden word will contain that many stars. So if the word was jump, I'll have to put 4 asterisks into this hidden word string. And that's what the user will see. So in order to do that, we need to use a simple loop that will basically get the length, and for every time, we'll just add a star to the hidden word. So I'm going to say for int I equals 0, as long as I is less than selected word dot length. So that means this is selected word dot length. This will return a string. So if it's jump, this will say 4 characters in that word. So that's what I want. I need that. I want to get that 4 so I can create that 4 stars. I plus plus. So for every single time, I'm going to add to hidden word plus equal star. So I'm adding a star onto it every single time. So like I said, if jump is the selected word, it gets the jump's length, which is 4. So that means that this loop will iterate 4 times, and that will add 4 stars into this hidden word. So now when I display hidden word, it will have 4 stars. For example, if I do console.writeLine, hidden word, whatever it gets, watch. Let's see. So, ironically, it was 4. So it's either jump. Oh, no, it must be jump. So that's the only 4-letter word. See, it picked jump. Let's try another one. 3. We have 3 stars this time. So it must be sky. We got sky again. Let me try that again. Okay, this time it's 5. So it could be many of them. So that's how this is happening. Hidden words, depending on the length of the word, I'm putting in stars for each character, basically. So if there's 5 characters, there's 5 stars now in this new string variable hidden word. And now, from now on, we're going to use hidden word to manage every single time that gets a letter. If it was right, I'm just going to overwrite the star in the hidden word with the actual character so that when I redisplay the hidden word, it will look like the character is now showing. So this is the random word stuff. It's all done. Now we need to deal with the guessing stuff. So this will be the stuff that we're dealing with when we're guessing. So I want to get, how long do I want to guess for? Allow the user to guess. I want the user to guess for as long as hidden word has stars in it. That means that if there's still stars in hidden word, that means that we need to keep on guessing because we haven't found the word. So because of that, I'm going to say while hidden word dot contains a star. That's why you need that contains method like I was saying. I'm saying this loop will keep on running as long as hidden word has stars in it. If hidden star does not have any stars in it, that means that we found all the letters and then we found the actual word. So in the loop, we're going to start off by actually printing out the hidden word. I'm going to say console.writeLine word, and I'm going to plug in the actual word, hidden word. So I plug in the hidden word, and now I need to ask the user to guess a letter. So I'm going to say console.write. I'm just saying write because I don't want it to go to the next line for this. I'm going to say guess a letter, and that's going to let the user guess a letter. Once they guess the letter, I need to store that into a variable. So I'm going to say character letter equals character.parse console.readline, because I want to store it as a character, a single character that's entered in. So I also need a variable to keep track of, because it says here, allow the user to get, if the user gets a letter that is not in the hidden word, display an appropriate message. So if it does not find it inside of the search, when it goes to search and it sees, okay, is this character inside of this word, I need to display a message if it's not. So I need that variable to keep track of whether it found it or not. So I'm going to say bool contains letter and equals false. I'm going to say I'm going to assume that I did not find it yet. Okay, so now I need to actually check the word and see if the letter is in it. So I have the letter, but now I need to see, okay, is that actually in the selected word? So to do that, I'm going to say for int I equals 0, as long as I is less than selected word.length. So depending on how many characters are actually in the selected word, I++. For every single time I go through this, I'm going to actually check. So I'm going to say if selected word sub I. Remember, this sub I returns the character at that position. A string, this is selected word as a string, has a character array in the inside of it. So by doing this sub I can get the character at that position, which is, I'm going to check every single one, basically. Now, the reason why I don't want to use contains here is because I need to figure out if it contains it multiple times. That's what it says. It says, if the user guesses a letter that appears multiple times in the hidden word, make sure that blah, blah, blah. So I need to make sure if I use contains, it will just return true or false if it is in there, but I won't know exactly where it is. So I need to go through the entire array. I have to go through the entire string, character by character, trying to figure out what character it is. And then once I find it, I have that I have the index, so I know exactly where it is. That's important, so I can replace it. So I'm saying if selected word sub I equals the letter. So if that selected that character in the word is equal to the letter, that means it must be in there. But I had to use a for loop because I needed to know exactly where it was, which now I do. I have the position of it. So what I'm going to do to actually replace it is I'm going to remove the character and then insert another one at that position. So basically, if I had a word like jump, let's say jump was the selected word, and then the hidden word was star, 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 star. If I typed in a J, what I want to do is I want to say, okay, I know J's here, that's index 0. So go to index 0 on the hidden word, delete the star there, and then place in and insert that J. And then J will be inserted into there. So now that would be shown, and then the other characters would still be hidden. If I typed in a U, no, let's say I type in an M next, it would go to this position because M's right there. It would say, okay, that's index 2. Go to index 2 on here, delete it, and then insert M there. So that's what's going to happen by doing the remove and inserts. So let's start off by removing. For that, we're going to say hidden word equals hidden word dot remove, and then like I went over before, it's the starting index. So what index am I starting to remove from? I'm going to remove from I, because that's the index that the letter is at, comma, and then how many letters or characters do you want to remove? I'm going to only remove one character in this situation. So now we removed it from hidden word. Now we need to insert the correct letter. So I'm going to say hidden word equals hidden word dot insert. I'm going to insert into that position again. So I, and then what word am I going to insert? I need to insert a string, it says. So I'm going to do letter dot to string. So letter is the letter that I'm inserting because that's what they typed and they found. And I'm converting it to a string because it needs to be a string in order to insert it. And now, because this is true, that means that the letter does exist inside the word. So I'm going to say, okay, contains letter equals true there as well. So now that's it for the actual loop. Every time it loops, it will be doing this process over and over again. So now that the loop is done, I'm going to use the contains letter bool to check if it actually found it or not. And depending on what happened, they will display a message. So I'm going to say, if contains letter equals true, then console.writeLine, I'm going to write yes, blank is in the word. And what do you think I'm going to put in there? I'm going to put in the actual letter. So it's going to say, like, A is in the word. So I'll pass in letter. The letter is the letter that they typed in. Then I'm going to say else. And then console.writeLine. Sorry is not in the word. So sorry, this letter is not in the word. Now I also want to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm going to add some coloring. I haven't really showed you guys this yet, but I'm going to say console.foreground color. This is the actual text color. I'm going to say it's equal to green if it's correct. So if it is in there, I'm going to say it's equal to green. And if it's not in there, I'm going to say the foreground color is equal to console color.red. And then every time you change the color to make it go back to its regular color, I'm also going to reset it. I'm going to say console.reset color. So that's going to reset it back to its normal color. So there's only one more thing that needs to happen in order to make this complete, and that is when you do solve it, we need to display some kind of message saying that, okay, you solved the puzzle or you solved the word. So this loop, the while loop, the outer loop, keeps on running while there are stars in it. But eventually there will be no more stars because I replaced them. I remove and replace them. So once you leave the while loop, that means you must have gotten it right. So this is where you could put the message that you want down here. So I'm going to say console.writeLine. Congratulations, you win. And then I'm also going to display the word. Finally, I'm going to say the word was, and then I'll pass in selected word. So this is just a little message saying that you won. So let's go ahead and run this and see what it looks like. So we start off. We have this long star. I have no idea what it is yet, so I want to type in a letter. P. Okay, I know what it is. So it says, yes, P is in the word. See, that green effect is happening because I changed the foreground color when it's correct, but then I reset it so that this now goes back to its normal color. So then it gets another letter, I'll say O. Yep. I'll say M. Now, notice how when I do M, it's going to replace multiple characters because I used a loop. So see how the two M's were replaced. M. I'll say R, G, A, E. Oh, it's programming. I, N, and there we go. Congratulations, you won. The word was programming. So just to show you when you get things wrong again, if I do T, see T, sorry, T is not in the word, and that's red because I made it red. J, what is this? Oh, I know what it is. Congratulations, you win. The word was river.